called it like a month ago. I said Usman Burns Gilbert in 3. Haters will say it's Photoshop, but you could go find me in the comment section if you want. Hey, what's up everybody? My name is Jesse, aka Mystic Jesse, and I'm the founder and grandmaster of MMA, Mexican martial arts. I know what you're thinking. That fight was a long time ago. Why are you barely breaking it down? Because a lot of my viewers requested it, alright? And I come through for my viewers. And also the video that I was working on for this week did not work out. This video was sponsored by me, homie. I just want to tell you real quick that I got some new merch. It's a lot like my regular merch, but better. A lot of people were trying to tell me that I should get on that OnlyFans, but Marilena said that this was the best I could do. And shout out to Amanda Griffin, who insists that she's a woman. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's because you're not watching the Mexican Fight Companions. You can find this new merch on my Teespring store with the link down below. But for now, we got a fight to discuss. Let me break it down for you. Listen, I know you're here for Usman versus Burns, but let me break down the rest of the card for you real quick. Nobody cares! Serio. At this point, we're paying $70 for one fight. Or you're risking getting a virus and having that Dana White power come down on you for one fight. The fight that I had with my lady for paying $70 was more exciting than the rest of the card. No disrespect to the fighters, but my pick for the main event was Usman because I felt that he was more proven and tested. A lot of fools think that his fighting style's boring, and they're correct. But boring fighters win. Think about it. They said the same thing about GSP, Khabib, Randy Couture, etc. because of their grappling. And they say it about Adesanya and John Jones because of their running. And then people praise the likes of Tony Ferguson, Justin Gaethje, Jorge Masvidal because they're in wars, because they like to scrap. Oh yeah? How many bouts have they won? And I'm not talking about fake bouts either. Those bouts are faker than Chael Sonnen's. When you say boring, you're mispronouncing the word strategy incorrectly. I knew that Usman was gonna win because he was either gonna stomp those feet, like if his rent was due, or he was gonna use that reach to tee off on him. And everybody was talking about Burns' stand-up, but Usman's dome is built different. He just wasn't gonna lose this fight. He's been putting in too much work. His last 5 fights all went to the 5th round. Burns has only seen the 5th round once, and that was with the SoundCloud rapper. I got nothing against Burns, and I'm not an Usman fanboy, but it seemed pretty simple to me. Now I have to mention something. Even though my official pick, based on a little research, a little logic, and a lot of MMA math, was Usman. When Usman dissed Gilbert, I got too emotional and I changed my pick. I take back everything I said. Burns is gonna win. I don't care what I said before. Burns is gonna beat him. Burns is gonna beat him. Burns is gonna beat him. Both me and Gilbert fell victim to becoming too emotional during this fight. Burns reached out his hand for the fist bump and Usman said, "Chale." I thought it was disrespectful, so I threw all my logic out the window and I started rooting for Burns. I hope Burns wins. I'm going for Burns. I wanted to see Usman get instant karma so that Burns will have to pay for his daughter's schooling.
I even pay for his school if he needs you, you know.
And within the first minute, Burns landed a powerful shot, which had me thinking that Marty Snoozman was about to take on a whole new meaning. But it didn't even count as a knockdown because Usman put his hands out and stopped himself. And it was at this point in the fight that Burns officially changed his game plan. He admitted during the post-fight press conference that he went full Cody Garbrandt when he heard Usman.
I went like my guy, so much respect for my guy Cody Garbrandt. I just went the same way as soon as I saw he was hurt.
He immediately followed up with the hammer fist, an uppercut, overhand right, another right, leg kick, overhand right. And I thought Usman blocked this when I was watching the fight. But Burns even landed this head kick. The fact that this didn't put Usman down must have taken a lot of confidence away from Burns. I'm telling you, that dome. To make it even worse, this kick actually led to Burns being on his back. And I did my best during the Mexican Fight Companion to let you know what was going on. But I know it's just not the same as seeing it for yourself. Burns wanted Usman to join him on the canvas, but Usman decided that he wanted to stay champion instead.
Am I supposed to risk my belt?
And then he cup checked that fool, but Herb Dean let it slide. What's new? But then Usman kicked his butt, literally. But Gilbert wasn't just wasting time on his back. He kept chopping away at Usman's leg, and Usman was landing here and there, but Burns wasn't concerned. He even went into a Nick Diaz pose for a moment, and then one of the times that Usman tried to land a shot, Burns actually caught it and wanted to sink in an armbar, but Usman ran out of there with the quickness. They scrambled to their feet, and when Usman tried to close in on him, Burns landed a knee right to the mouth.
Pow, right in the kitchen.
Then he landed a big left. They traded some solid kicks, but as I watched the fight back, I can't help but notice Usman solidly working the jab throughout the whole thing. I didn't really notice it the first time around, but after hearing him talk about it so much after the fight, it's so obvious now. The second round is pretty simple to sum up. Burns was desperately trying to land that knockout punch, and Usman was consistently working that jab. The jab was so effective that it chipped away at Burns and almost put him out twice. In his defense, he later went on to say that he was just trying to pull guard, Nate Diaz style. But still, Usman didn't want none.
I'm not stupid, dummy.
19 seconds into the third round, Burns got sat down again with a jab. Usman followed up and landed 10 fight finishing blows on him. During the 7th punch, you could hear DC go full Dan Hardy and start yelling that the fight was over.
It's over, it's over.
I think Herb Dean let it go on for as long as he did though, because you could see during certain moments, the way that Burns is moving his hips and trying to grab Usman's arm, that he was simply weathering that storm so that he could get an arm bar.
Agree to disagree.
But then Usman landed one last convincing blow, and Herb Dean was like, Charlie, I'm tired of fools not being impressed with my performance. But that didn't last very long now, did it? Of course, Usman was all hyped up immediately following the finish, and he was trying to figure out that who was trying to take something from who or something like that.
Taking what from who? You know what it is. You know.
But after a few moments, he started to feel bad for Burns. Burns was going through it. It was a pretty sad moment. And then this fool came in and put the stool right behind Burns without letting him know. So Burns lay back and cracked his head open. He took more damage from the stool than the fight. It was a beautiful thing to see them make up after the fight. It was like the fighter and the kid actually having a kid again. Or like Chris D'Elia finally setting the record straight.
I mean, I know you've seen some of the messages online. I mean, there's way more than that.
They were homies back in the day. Then they weren't homies because they had to sell a fight. Now they're homies again. Would things have turned out differently if Burns had paced himself better? I guess we'll never know. Unless there's a rematch. But to be honest, I don't think anyone has even come close to putting up as good of a fight against Usman as Colby Covington did. I think that's the rematch we need to see next. Am I wrong though? Who do you think Usman should face next? And have you put respect on his name? Let me know down below. Please like this video if you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching Mexican Martial Arts. Appreciate it. Good looking out. Late. I'm gonna start doing this like the vloggers.